Good evening, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So we have another coaching series Sunday. I missed last Sunday. I was traveling back from actually our mentors. We had an event down in Dallas, Texas, and I didn't make it back on time. Bottom line, so we didn't have a Sunday coaching series. Kind of just missed that one. That was on me. We missed that one, but we are back. And of course, we have the Wednesday. Don't forget the Wednesdays when the longer call up is. We can only cover so much here in 30 minutes, but we try to deliver the best and the most newest information we have on whatever topic we're covering. Tonight being a sales pitch. I've had about 7 different investors that I'm helping out. I'm not mentoring these investors. They're more so coming into and they want to work with us, which I work with any investor, wholesaler, bird dog, realtor. Doesn't matter. It builds our team. It's bigger, and the more we have, the better. But some of these realtors, especially coming from real estate, stick built, commercial, whatever it may be, they're transitioning as they sell me into mobile homes. And they're not saying the right things, okay? And it's okay. When you're getting into something new, just because it may be familiar or similar to, doesn't mean you're going to be as good at. Practice makes you better. That's all you can do. But I heard a few of their sales pitch, and I thought, yes, we need to have a sales pitch call. We need to cover this topic. I know 7 years ago when I got started, oh man, I called many mobile home parks. Very discouraging. Everybody would either hang up, they would call me everything but my name, or they would simply say, no, we don't need you here. It's easy to get discouraged when you constantly keep getting a no. But Les Brown would say, with every no, there's a yes right around the corner. And I believe that. So, but along with that is, you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. At one point you do have to ask people, ask investors, ask whoever you're talking to and getting a no. Anything but a yes should not be accepted. So if you're getting a no, ask, what is the real reason? A lot of people don't do this. What is the real reason you're not? Or you too, you should study. You should listen to yourself, record yourself. I recorded myself many times trying to correct my pitches and don't sound like a robot. We're going to go over a few here in a few minutes, but a lot of you start writing these things down. And when you start calling these park owners or park managers, or whoever you call them, it's like you're reading down the line. And the more you do, you start sounding like a robot back to back. Don't do that. Be normal, be human. You're talking to people at the end of the day. If you have any questions, drop it on the comment section. Of course, Instagram, you can just raise your hand or drop a comment as well. Phil, good evening. Happy to Phil. Yes, sir. All right, let's see. We do advertise on there as well. And of course, at the end of the call, we have some advertisements that we'll talk about. But all right, let's jump into sales pitch. Sales pitch can be, some people call it an art, some people call it a skill, some people call it whatever they may want. I'll say it's a practice that makes you better the more you do it, like anything else, okay? But the one thing that you have to, before you take on, is who is it that you're trying to sell? Because as an investor, you're always selling. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be providing a house, a mobile home. You could be trying to buy a mobile home. You could be trying to connect with a park owner, park manager, fill in pads, fix the street. It doesn't matter. You are selling. Remember that. I closed on 2 deals today, 2 RTOs that we had to do, which reminds me, where is Prim? Prim ain't on. And it's, I went in the office for a little bit, and it was a couple that were kind of sitting there from Friday, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and be proactive and let me reach out to them again. That being said, though, it's even when you're providing housing, yes, people need it. Yes, there's a demand, but it does not mean you don't have to sell. A lot of people may be coming through and seeing the home and, oh, yeah, it's just not for us. And that's what I'm talking about. It usually stops right there. As soon as they tell you, no, I'm not interested, or no, it isn't for me, or no, it's too, I would reach out and find out the real reason. Okay. And something like that could be as simple as Mr. John. We'll use Mr. John. Mr. John, I noticed you said you were not interested. No big deal. We like all feedback, good, bad, and different. So, if you don't mind, just be honest with me. What was it about it that you did not like? Maybe it's something we can do better on the next home. You see how you position yourself. You're trying to get honesty, because this honesty will make you better. Okay. Instead of just, okay, well, never mind him. Let's get somebody else and someone else and someone else. I went over this about 2 weeks ago, where some of our sales agents are talking about, yeah, well, we've talked to about 200 people today. I've emailed about 1,000 people today. How many people did you close? Nobody. Well, then that's a problem. And you see where it scatters. Okay. You may be doing a lot of talking, but you're not really connecting. You have to connect with these people. And again, be real, be human, okay, and just find out real reasons as to why it is or it isn't kind of thing. So with these two that we had early, that were more on this done deal. We were waiting on the backgrounds and that sort of thing. So it was a final kind of one last time call in. Sure enough, they came through. But the same thing can be for, park manager. When I call park managers, and I wish I would record me 7 years ago, just to hear what I was saying. Then again, maybe I'm glad I didn't. But, all the notes came, I was just saying the wrong thing. So let's make an example of something like that. And if one of y'all wants to role play on here, I'll be happy to. But okay, I'm calling Miss Johnson this time. Okay, Miss Johnson, she is a park manager. She's not very nice from what I hear, and it is what it is. Okay, we're going to call her anyway. So I'll call, okay? Always be honest. Don't try to hide something from the get-go. Don't try to be something you're not. Just be honest. They either want you or they do not. And remember, on the first try, nothing may happen. They may hang up on you. Follow up, a couple weeks more, follow up again. Okay, keep making it. So if I were to call Miss Johnson, yes, my name is Jay Garcia. I am a real estate investor. More specifically, I invest in mobile homes. I'm looking for a few fixer-uppers, distressed, if you will. Do you have any mobile homes sitting in your park at this time? That's it. Don't overspeak. Don't say more than you need to. Okay. My coach would say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Talk less and listen more kind of thing. So I take that seriously. So I will listen to what they have to say. And a lot of times you have to remember this too. If they are upset immediately, okay, because you will get into that where you almost feel like you said something wrong, like I was just trying to offer my service and they kind of got upset about it. Don't take it personal. It is not personal. This is a business. If somebody does sound upset like that, more times than not, it is because, okay, they've already been investors coming through here, promising all kinds of things. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they left them in worse condition. So now they see you, as I've been called, oh, you just another one of those. Or not just another one of those, okay? But that's fine. They can see me that way for the time being. But I'm going to say, okay, well, if you're not allowing investors at this time, no problem. That's fine. We'll check in with you in the near future if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. And hangs up. Is what is. Okay. 2 weeks later, call again. Hey, this is Jay Garcia. A couple people just joined. Okay. This is Jay Garcia. Calling back. I know we spoke a couple weeks ago, and you said you don't deal with investors, but again, I am investing in your market. If there's a couple fixer-uppers, I'd love to make it a win-win situation. Sometimes you won't get that far. They'll hang up on you again. The longest term I tried to get into the mobile home park was in Athens, Georgia. Y'all know where Athens, Georgia? Look it up. Go Bulldogs. I don't watch football. 6 months. It took me 6 months. I walked into the office. I was in the area and I happened to stump onto the park. I saw a park. I thought, oh, let me drive in here and see it. Office was open, so I went in there. And sure enough, friendly, everything was fine until I started talking. Hey, my name is Jay Garcia. I'm a real estate investor. Turn that around. Yeah, one of those. 4 seconds later, I was walking right back out. Here's a little tip for you all. Those park owners or those park managers that give you the strongest no, those are the ones you need to pursue. And the reason behind it is they've either been burnt by other investors. They don't care for your concept. They don't understand it. But if you are persistent enough and you keep trying, eventually they will allow you to come in. And that's what happened there. 6 months later, I just friendly kept talking, kept asking them. They would listen a little bit more every time. And after about 6 months, they said, well, we got one lot's been sitting for 2 years. And if you want to come by and check it out, sure enough, next day I was there at 8 in the morning, ready to check it out. And a lot of times you have to prove yourself. But when they give you no's and no's after no's, and they're so strong about it, they've been burnt by other investors, which means that if they allow you into the door, okay, and you take that first deal and you do what you say you're going to do, you're going to be their only investor moving forward. I don't have to worry about another investor coming in because they don't trust investors. They trust me because they kind of let me in at this point, but I'm their go-to. So you see what you're doing. You're building relationships. And, with us now building credibility for, through our system, our companies, we do bring other investors, students now, of course, but they come through where otherwise they tell me, they never even wanted to hear me before. You got to build credibility a lot of times. You have to build credibility. If If you can't do one thing in one park, do it in another. Start building almost like a resume and start getting references. If you're doing right by one park owner or a manager, they should be okay with, should another park manager need to call them so that they can verify you. I've had that happen in the past. One of the biggest parks we did down in Central Florida, it was 52 mobile homes, I believe, 52 or 57 a couple years ago. And oh, the park was massive. The park had over 600 units. It's one of those massive parks that you get. So they had about 50 units, which wasn't a whole lot, as I say to them. But okay, 50 units sitting, that's a bit of money. So they didn't care too much listen to what we had to do or what we were offering. So I went to that resort. Let me bring some references. Sure enough, they started calling other park owners, park managers, and yep, they built me the credibility and they let us in. Within about 4 months, I think we had all those units either with investors, with students, or us rehabbing. And again, when you do what you say you're going to do, that's what's going to keep building your credibility for sure. Let's see. Any questions on here? I think I saw some on Instagram. So let me keep going. So, and remember, there's 3 types of sellers when it comes to mobile home investing. There's park owners, easiest, park managers, hardest, and no. Park owners would be the easiest, direct sellers would be the hardest, and park managers would be the scariest, as I'm told. I was scared to pick up the phone many times in the beginning and call because, you start getting hang up and getting told no. It's easy to start kind of running with that, but make it a win-win. What I hear a lot of investors many times is everything is an I. If I call a park manager, well, I'm going to come in and I'm going to rehab your mobile homes and I'm going to put them out for rent and I'm going to this. There's no win. There's no win in that. Bear with me one second. All right. So, pointing out things like I said, when it comes to a park owner, I would point out flaws in the park, respectfully, professionally. I would mention, Mr. Park owner, I noticed that you have 10 empty pads. I don't know if you're looking to work with investors at this time, but I specialize in bringing and moving mobile homes. Those 10 pads surely are not making you any money being vacant. Could you use mobile homes at this time? You say it's all about offer, making it a win, and I'll break numbers down from them. When I'm rolling through these parks and visit them and seeing them, I'm seeing how many services can I provide. And when I see empty pad after empty pad, I'm adding these up. I want to add up real solid numbers. Let's say a pad is $500 and you have 4 empties. That's $2,000 a month. I'm going to point that out to the park owner. If you had these pads filled, you'd be making an extra $4,000 a month, or $2,000 a month. 2,000 times 12 months equals what? You see what I'm saying? So you're making them see that. When it comes to park managers, everything is a win-win by taking duties off their hands. They don't want to deal with another resident. They don't want to deal with another investor. So if you're talking about you can come in and if I rehab this unit, you're not going to have to deal with the resident there, especially if I finance to them or I'm a landlord to them. They would deal with me directly and I will deal with you on a separate side. Should I have to evict them? They don't pay or abide by the rule regulations. I would deal that. You don't have to deal with that. That is music to the ears. Yes, I don't want to deal with that. We had one park a few years ago where we had almost 20 in one park. I preferably don't like all my units in one park. It makes sense from certain standpoints, financially, and should you have to drive to them kind of thing. But I like them all spread out. I mean, we have them in South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. We got them everywhere. I like it that way. That's just how I do it, But when you can have that many, like we had in that one park, 20, that was 20 units. This park manager never had to deal with them, never even talked to them. As a matter of fact, my residents didn't even know who she was. So, any violations, you email me immediately. Hey, they got this kind of thing. And again, it's all about making it a win-win situation. With a direct seller, same thing. How can you help them? You're not just there to benefit you, for you to build profits. You're gonna get paid. If you do the work, you do right by people, you will make money either way. So, a lot of times, and I know I made a video a while back on never paying somebody up front. I'll still say that. Do not pay somebody up front, but it does not mean you cannot give a deposit, for instance. A lot of these direct sellers, they're behind on bills, they're behind on this, they're behind on everything. They may even be on the verge of being evicted. So when you coming in and saying, I'll buy your mobile home for whatever it is that you're trying to, hopefully you're offering them fair market value. Okay. But you're saying, I'm not going to pay you a penny until you move out. They may not even have money to get a U-Haul, to get somewhere to go. So them getting a portion of it can mean they can sell to you. Okay. And I've done that in the past. Put it all on writing, put it on that bill of sale. We're going to go buy a $2,000 mobile home. Okay. I will give you a quarter of that. I will give you up front $500. That gives you enough money to get you a truck, get you set up wherever you need to go. And as soon as you're out of the home and you give me that title, okay, we'll go ahead and pay you the rest. And they're able to sell to us that way. And they told us, nobody else was willing to do something like that. There is a lot of scam, apparently. I keep hearing it more and more. I think I've heard it from every agent and everybody here lately. We got a very secure way in the way we do our transactions. We use DocuSign for all of our agreements. If we're in the area, we'll do it in person as well. But when it comes to transferring money, transferring funds, wire. It's got to be a wire, especially down payment or a larger amount of payment, wire. And I tell people this, you need to have paper trail. You're trying to bring me 10,000 cash, maybe you gave it to, maybe you didn't, you get into that he said, she said, don't do that. But yeah, so it's all about securing yourself. So any questions on this? Anybody wants to role play?
Yeah, Jay, how you doing, man?
You're real. Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, quick question. As far as okay, say I go to a mobile home park, um, how do I decipher whether it's a park manager or a park owner? Is that like just a regular question? Hey, are you the manager? Like, how do I just ask them straight up? Are you the manager or the owner? How would I know?
Well, the majority of the time, if ever, it's always going to be a park manager. But there is no shame in that. Very politely, professionally, hey, are you the owner by chance, or you manage the park? Get your answer.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. And the one thing I can say is, never try to get to a park owner through the manager. That's not going to go well. Because one thing about the park managers is, if they don't understand exactly what you're doing, or they've kind of been burnt before, they don't want to deal with you anyway. But a lot of park managers, they live in the park, and the way they get paid, if you will, is they may get some small percentage, maybe a small check at the end of the month or once a week, and they don't have to pay the lot rent. That's typically how they get paid. So if you're coming in, anybody's coming in, and they're taking it as a defense, that's almost you're trying to take the job. You're not going to do anything in that park until you get them to believe what you're trying to do. So asking them, well, who's the park owner? Let me get their number. That's not going to happen. Now, the beautiful thing about that is, we're going to be talking about this on Wednesday, where we can get the most park owners, members only. Wednesday, join the call. We're going to talk about where we can get extra park owners, because when I connect with park owners and we discuss all the terms and everything that they want, when they introduce me to their park manager, that park manager treats me forever like I'm the owner, just because you're coming from that credibility. So it's always so much better to come from above, but you never try to reach that way out. So y'all remember that. Don't try to bypass one to get to the other. Let's see. Okay, so make it a win-win. All in all, make it a win-win. Different conversation with everybody. Whether you're selling, you're buying, you're trying to invest, it doesn't matter. You're always selling. Always work on your sales pitch. One sales pitch does not work for all. Okay, so again, and I love to hear somebody trying to do a pitch so that I can better correct them on something like that, or just kind of give them pointers. So if anybody wants to type it on, I'd be happy to break that down as well. One of the places where, and I'm going to go ahead and give you all this tip here. One of the places where we get mobile homes from a lot of times may be from places where they have repos, for instance. Okay. Now, if I know about this place, how many other investors you think know about this place? Everybody's trying to get a discount on a mobile home. So it's all that calls coming in. Sooner or later, these people are getting enough calls where it's no longer a nice service somebody's providing as much as it's an aggravation. So how do you stand out? When you're thinking about a sales pitch, regardless of what you're selling or trying to buy, stand out and be different. Okay, don't be aggravating. Use common sense. Don't ever call people on the first of the month or on Monday. Those are the worst times, especially park managers. First of the month, they're trying to collect lot rents. The 5th, they're trying to put out late fees, and here you're trying to invest in there. It's not going to happen unless you try to help them out to collect late fees. You know, that's not going to work out for you. So, all right, we went through the call pretty quickly, which is good. Let me see if we have anybody on Instagram. We got quite a few people on Instagram join us. Instagram, y'all are always welcome to join us on Zoom. Again, I'm going to drop the comment here with the email, and then I'm going to website. I'm sorry, with the website, and then I'm going to put my email. There you go. So yes, Wednesday, we will go into a lot more in depth into this call like we do. It is for members only. If it is your first time, you can come and join us at no cost. It is about an hour long. It can go up to an hour and a half. It just depends on the tips, the questions, whatever we're talking about at that point. We always make sure we answer everybody's questions, but you know, where to find extra park owners. We're going to go over that. There is a site. I'm sure you're aware, but you didn't know that we're there. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to search. Also, when you're selling, you should also be thinking about the same thing in your post. What kind of ads are you writing? Okay, I saw a couple ads the other day where an investor said these are good. I don't know what she was referring to. They look like a paragraph, or ain't nobody going to read that kind of thing to me. But we'll definitely talk on that as well. So, and then Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not forget, we got the Let's Do deals. We got a lot of new deals coming in that we're going to be breaking down. I will take one unit that I want to break down for y'all. And if I can get down into, which I doubt it, Dublin, I wanted to give you an update on the challenge home. Closer and closer every day. My pocket is getting emptier, but it's about to get full again. So we're going to talk about those numbers here soon too as well. All right. Well, thank you, Instagram, for joining. Any other questions before we go? All right. Well, everybody have a great evening. Thank you for joining.